Hey everyone, I'm Nathan, and we're doing it, just what the title says, every Drawfee VTuber, of which there are 10, kind of. As always, this might not be every Drawfee VTuber that ever existed. I don't exactly have a comprehensive list of all of the characters in neat categories, but these are the ones that I could find. If I miss any, make sure you tell me down below, but with that, let's go ahead and jump into the video. So the first thing I do whenever I take on a challenge like this is figure out where I'm actually setting all of these characters. And since they're all YouTubers / streamers, I thought the best place to put them would be at like a convention. So this is like a Comic Con, Dragon Con, VTuber Con thing. I don't know. I just set them in an artist alley because that sounded like something simple to draw. I knew how to do it, and it just sounded kind of fun. Here I'm finishing the underdrawings for all of this character skeletons, that every character is blocked in and visible for the final image. Number 1. Can of Peas. Can of Peas debuted literally the Thursday that I'm recording this video, like 3 days ago. From the YouTube video, Creating the Next Generation of VTubers, featuring Jonah Scott. This video actually supplies 5 of the characters featured in this video, which is at least half of the VTubers Drawfee has created, depending on how you slice it. Can of Peas is a buff himbo, and also an anthropomorphic can of peas. The reason he's wearing this outfit is because Jonah described him as not wearing any clothes except for a giant can, like a destitute barrel man from when films were still in black and white. I don't know, the Depression? I don't know when people wore barrels. The reason why he has this derpy face is because he just drew the smallest little image of what he looks like underneath as a mask, and all of his facial features are sort of squished together. I reflected that in my drawing. Oh my gosh, I really do just put the most absurd faces on these muscle men. My headcanon for what's happening here is that Can of Peas, Puddle, and Handheld Game System Chan, I can't believe I have to say that, all came to this convention together. They're definitely sharing a hotel room in order to break up the price point. So they're all rooming together and they're all in the artist alley, and this is where they're supposed to meet up with gas station attendant Anubis, who Karina drew. Can of Peas is very nervous because this is his first con. I imagine that he's like the newest and least experienced of the 3 VTubers that in their little hotel room. So he's like very overwhelmed. He gained most of his followers from an accidental thirst trap that was posted on TikTok that he wasn't intending it to be a thirst trap, but he was so stupid he didn't realize. I don't know. Maybe he was just trying to do a small promotional TikTok for his little channel, and it was him making pea soup, but he like spilled the peas, and so he had to like bend over and his like butt was out and he just like published the video without watching it back because he doesn't know that's something you're supposed to do. It was a complete accident. He blew up overnight. He's not used to stardom. He's not used to fame. He's kind of blushy and shy. He doesn't know how to navigate this space yet with confidence. So I depicted him here raising his hand. He seems to be like volunteering for a task. He desperately wants to like go on a water run or go get snacks or just do anything that involves leaving the convention, picking something up and coming back. Yeah, maybe like a lunch run. He just wants to get out of here. Number 2, Puddle. So Puddle is actually the reason why I wanted to draw this in the first place. As soon as Jacob Drawfee drew a puddle of water and gave it boobs, I immediately knew exactly what I wanted her design to look like. I drew her hair in sort of the same meandering puddle pattern, like the shape of the original puddle in that wavelength, to create that shape. Puddle and Handheld Game System Chan are definitely the seasoned VTubers. They really know what they're doing. They've done a couple of conventions now for a number of years. I like to imagine that they met Spilled Peas at some sort of virtual tournament, like maybe a Pokemon tournament, or I don't know. I really don't know video games well enough to be doing this video. League of Legends? Some sort of Smash Bros. Anyway, the point is they met at this tournament and then they became unlikely friends and started appearing on each other's streams and talking to each other outside of work. Yeah, they just became friends. So now that I've finished the line art for Puddle's hair, I start going in with my flats, and I wanted to make her braids start out with her natural hair color at the roots and then transition into her blue braids for her protective hairstyle. Obviously, because I wanted to incorporate water into her design, and this is when things get a little crazy. So the reason why her hair is floating the way it does is because it's constantly in this anti-gravity water that's always around her head. And I did this for a couple of reasons. One, I loved how magical it felt. It just was really quirky and fit the weirdness of a lot of VTubers. But then also a lot of VTubers have little animals that are sort of like their icon that they put on their merchandise. And I wanted hers to be like little Nemos, like from Finding Nemo's. I think they're called clownfish. I just thought they'd look so cute with their orange and white stripes. And they would be really complementary to the blue of the water and the blue of her braids. So yeah, I don't know. I just was really excited to have them floating or swimming around her head, sort of like butterflies or like a crown. It just was really cool. So I hope you guys think it's cool too. Number 3, handheld game system Chan. My favorite thing about handheld game system Chan is that I did all of this like thought and intention behind making Puddle an actual VTuber model instead of just a puddle with boobs. And I don't give any of that courtesy to handheld game system Chan. I just keep the original Jacob design, and I think it really works. I think it's cute. I love how rubber hose animation it feels, almost like it's out of a new spin-off of a Cuphead game or something. So this one was really fast. Yeah, on to the next character. Number 4, the nameless gas station attendant. So this one was Karina's drawing. He doesn't have a name, but he's sort of dressed like Anubis, the Egyptian god of death. Right? Death? He's a death god? Something like that. He like measures your heart against feather of an ostrich to see if you're worthy of the afterlife. Something like that. But anyway, this guy works part-time at a gas station and also a Yankee Candle and also probably a pet store of some sort. He's running really late to the con. He just came from work, so he still has his little hat and the collared uniform shirt from his gas station job on. The reason why he's double masked isn't because he's like being extra cautious or courteous. It's literally because he just threw his mask over the one he had to wear for work. Ooh, now that I say that, this image is really weird because no one else is wearing a mask. You know, they're virtual people. You want to see how chiseled their jawlines are. There's no COVID in this universe, so he's just wearing these masks for fashion. I don't know. Number 5, biblically accurate Angel Chan. And with a name like that, you know it's a Julia drawing, and it's a really fun one. Yes, this VTuber has the head of a biblically accurate angel and the body of a schoolgirl, kind of. The way that Julia renders the clothes, you can't actually see her body. So she's kind of like the Invisible Girl from My Hero Academia. I liked how biblically accurate Angel Chan had this fire energy about them, like the big fire hair, which was a good parallel to Puddle, who I gave the water hair. So I liked bringing in that opposite energy into the fold of this piece. Here I'm just cleaning up my line art for the finished image, and then I clean up the flat colors and then just do small adjustments on the fire, the lighting, the shadows, you know, all that usual goodness. Which brings us to our next character. Number 6, 7, 8, Nyanners, Gura, and Ironmouse. I really wanted these characters to be smaller and just a cameo. They debuted in the video Artist Draw VTubers that they've never seen. So because the designs are Drawfee original designs, but they're based off of real VTubers that actually exist. So that put them in this weird liminal space where they were not entirely Drawfee original characters, but I still wanted them to cameo in this video because, I mean, it's a really fun video and they are original designs, so I just threw them in the back here so that they, you know, counted, but they're all kind of lumped together in this category. Here I do some adjustments to the character scales to make room in the composition for our next character. Number 9, DJ Night Garbage, who is a Karina drawing that debuted in the Aesthetic Generator Drawing Challenge video. He has some absolutely messed up lore. Apparently he's cursed. He bought a furry wolf head and converted it to a raccoon head and wears it and streams, but he doesn't say anything because he's also cursed and slowly turning into an actual raccoon. Occasionally on his streams he'll whisper, "Help me," or "I'm trapped." Things like that. Since he's a DJ, I imagine he's coming to this con to sell his album on CDs, which just tickles me pink. But he just tripped and they fell all over the floor, so it's very embarrassing. And I really liked drawing the mask having this really worried facial expression, but if you kind of look closely, you can see inside the open mask the human underneath, and it's giving very Andromon. Ooh, you can't see see the eyes. Is it a Digimon? Who knows? After I color in all the CDs and everything, I end up forgetting to add his tail, so I have to go back in later and add that. And then I also eventually give him a mask around his eyes, just to really make him look more raccoon instead of wolf. And finally, number 10, LE Kid. LE Kid appears in the Guess What Pokemon Julia is Drawing Impossible video. And though he is not explicitly stated to be a VTuber, he is canonically a streamer, and I don't know, I just felt like including him in this list because, in my opinion, he is just so cute, and I felt like he fits the vibe of like an adorable kid VTuber. In my headcanon, he streams a lot of Pokemon, obviously, but besides that, he also plays a lot of Smash, and his main is Ness, because Ness is also a cute, adorable little kid. I just felt like that fits the vibe correctly. And he also does drawing streams, I guess, because at this booth, I end up doing a lot of drawings and posters surrounding it, and a lot of them appear to be like hand charcoal drawings. So yeah, I guess he also does drawing streams. Good for him, so well-rounded. Here I'm adding the mask and the tail on DJ Night Garbage, like you do. And now we're on the background. So since I'm a Georgian, I designed this artist alley kind of like on the convention center where Dragon Con is held, and I've never actually been to Dragon Con. I know I'm a bad Georgian, but it's just cons stress me out, and I've only been to a couple of little ones. The huge ones scare me, but I don't know, maybe I'll table there sometimes if I become a brave soul and can manage it. So I googled reference images of Dragon Con, and I actually used to work across from the convention center, so I have kind of an idea of what it looks like, kind of. But I obviously simplify it a lot and take liberties. So I include all the things that you would normally see at an artist alley or at a con. So like posters and postcards, t-shirts and potty pillows, that sort of stuff. I was going to do toys, but I got really low on time. Actually, for the background, I was gonna make all of these papers that you see hanging up actual posters that were really not super intricately, but detailed and color rendered. That turnaround from Wednesday to Saturday is always so quick, like way faster than I think it's going to be. So I do run out of time and I end up just making them rough drawings, but I still think they're really cool. It's not cheese. But I'm okay with how they turned out. I actually really love gesture drawings. I love how loose they feel. They all have nice energy and kind of this nostalgic quality for me personally. And if I were to ever go back to this piece and then finish it, the only thing I would change is probably rendering these posters and the body pillows. And speaking of all these posters and body pillows, the characters were actually chosen by my Patreon. I did a post on my Patreon, and my patrons commented what characters either from Drawfee or pop culture they wanted to see. So on the body pillows, we have Hatsune Miku, Zagreus, and Jacob Persona. Excellent choices. I love how I drew Zagreus with like his arms above his head, and his wrists are like tied together. Oh my gosh, I'm blushing. Have you seen this Todd from Mario? LE Kid. Oh my gosh, it was cheese. Kirby, Sonic's butthole, room full of vampires, you get the idea. And with that, this is the finished illustration. This was really fun. I love how everyone came out. Who's your favorite VTuber? I think mine is a toss-up between LE Kid and Puddle. But tell me which one was your favorite in the comments below. And if you liked this video, why not like, subscribe, and if you really want to support the channel, check me out on Patreon. Link in the description. And speaking of patrons, here it is, the end credits. Oh yes, look at those lovely patrons. Special shout out to Blue Uwu, Moe, Game of Catan on Instagram, Gay Jairus, Melon, SL Blue, Tuesdays Anyways, and Tuppence Pies. Thanks for watching. My name is Nathan. I upload every Wednesday and Saturday, and I'll see you soon. Bye!